welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how we make scrunchies, and these are scrunchies that I have done in the past. I have a dark purple one, a yellow one, polka dotted, and a striped one, and these are one of my favorites that I've done. And so what you're going to need for this project is your main fabric that you're going to be using, scissors, some type of like chalk or marking thing, and you will also be needing some type of measuring tape or tool. So now I'm just going to measure out 3 by 24. Here's the 3 and 24. Okay, so now you have done that and you are going to start to cut. And now you have your piece, and let's move on to the next step. So now you are just going to fold it in half, and you could either hand sew it and or sew it. If you are sewing it, make sure you have parental supervision, and please do not poke a needle through your finger. I have my mom doing it because she is a professional sewer. Now you are just sewing one side of it so that it would be easier to turn it inside out. So now you are just taking a pencil and poking it through the sewed side and pushing that end up through the other end of the tube, and now you're just taking the pencil and just pulling the rest so then it's right side out. Now you are just cutting off the end that you sewed so you can have a clear tube. Next, you are taking one wall, as you could say, of each end and sewing it together to get an open tube thing. Make sure you don't sew the whole thing because we are still going to put in the rubber elastic to make it a scrunchie. Now we are making the rubber band portion. All we are doing is we're taking this elastic and folding it in half and then cutting off the extra that we don't need. Make sure it's about 7 inches. To make it easier to put the elastic through the tube, just clip a clothespin onto it and grab the other end of the elastic and start to feed the clothespin through the tube and continue until you get to the other end. Make sure you are still holding the elastic. When you finally get to the end, take off the clothespin and put the 2 elastics together and sew them by hand or by machine. Make sure you sew over a couple times so it doesn't snap in the middle. Now sew the hole closed so you could get your finished result of a scrunchie.
Put your head on my shoulder.
So like always, you can hand sew it or use a sewing machine. For the end, I always sew it because I think it's much easier, but it takes much more time. But this, you have much more control, so I would recommend hand sewing it. And if you are, do a zigzag / Z pattern, kind of go over and then thread it to the other side, and keep on doing that until you get to the end, and I will show you how to do the end. Now for the end, as you could see, my mom didn't do fully. She made a little loop and then she put the needle through and made a little knot, and then she cut off the extra, and there you go.